people think Satanism is the worship of Satan. No. Do you know what Satanism is according to God's word? Guys, I've said this in the past, but I'll repeat it again. What is Satanism? If you go to the Bible, Satanism is the worship of self. Satanism is becoming your own God, doing your own thing, doing what you will. It's not the worship of Satan. In Genesis 3, the serpent didn't ask Adam and Eve to worship him instead of God, right? Because he would lead them to a better way. He told them to worship themselves. Do what thou wilt. Do what thou will. Thelema. Okay? Remember that Greek word thelema, because I'm going to explain it in a minute. Okay? Satanism is the worship of self. Putting your will, your desires, ahead of God's will and everyone else's. And you don't care how many people you crush and destroy in order to accomplish self-gratification. That's Satanism. The worship of self. The worship of ego. In fact, don't take my word for this. I want you to go to Google, the greatest scholar the world has ever known. I want you to type in the name Aleister Crowley. Ah, Razzles beat me to it, you little sucker. Aleister Crowley, because Razzles was a Crowleyan and he repented. Aleister Crowley was a straight up, in your face Luciferian who called himself the Great Beast. He was into Egyptology and went around with the number 666. And his theme was Thelema, do what thou wilt. In other words, not thy will be done, my will be done, not yours. That's Satanism. That's what they teach in the Satanic Bible. That's what they teach in the Church of Satan, started by Anton LaVey. Levy was a Jew. Aleister Crowley, his influence such that you guys may be shocked how influential he was. He had an agenda that he wanted to implement. Through music and drugs, he would brainwash the masses and control the masses to end up abandoning God and come unto the snare and clutch of Satan. This is why some of the singers you'll find either singing to Crowley or having Crowley's face on their album, like the Beatles. There is one Beatle album where you'll have Aleister Crowley on the album. And what was his name? Ozzy Osbourne sang a song about Mr. Crowley. Mr. Crowley. And he had proteges whom he sent out to affect culture through drugs, music, and free sex. And they implemented that plan in the 60s, right, with the hippie movement, and now look at the result.